We are live.
Yeah. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
Is it really 76 degrees? It's pretty something.
I woke up
imagine
hot
in the
today,
sun.
so I was like, it's got to be somewhat decent out there.
Beautiful.
Dude, look at the size of the tail on this cat.
Is that what?
It's not. People are
Like a panoramic.
People are doing panoramics. Yeah. It's
Man, you're looking scraggly.
like a half cat.
Okay. Okay.
Some of these are great. The very
I
first
saw the
one,
dog with all the legs.
The very first
what
one.
happened? Let's do this.
Freaks me out.
I want you to tell people like, hey, I got a new dog, got a really great picture, and just show it. Yeah, it's a rescue. She's a special needs rescue.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo podcast.
It's like
Webisode 711, the Gourgeist podcast.
Gourgeists and
Demons,
and
slankets.
ooh, Gourgeist is like a. I don't know. Here we go.
Is he a handsome guy?
Well, Gourgeist is a bipedal pumpkin Pokemon. Sorry, it's a pumpkin.
Bicycle?
A bicycle Pokemon, yes.
Mhm. Its body is a black pumpkin with 2 short stubby feet. There's a face carved into this pumpkin having triangular eyes and a half-circle mouth, completed with a spike protruding from the top of the mouth. Above this pumpkin is the head, which is tall, slender, and orange in color. At the top of the head is the face, which has yellow eyes and a small mouth with no nose present. The mouth has 2 sharp fangs with an absence of other visible teeth. It is completed with its peach-colored hair, which down the sides develops limbs. I don't think I've ever said those words in that combination before. The hair contains bangs, which usually cover one eye. The top of its hair contains a crescent shape, which is peach-colored on the outside and black on the inside. They come in many sizes, the smallest being no more than 2 feet 4 inches, while the largest are 5 feet 7 inches. Its colors have switched from when it was a pumpkaboo, with its lower body being black and its top being pink. It's number 711.
That's it?
I remember Punkaboo.
Uh-huh.
We're done?
I mean, that's all
It's a good one. You're done.
it says. It's
I like
number
because it's short.
711. It's a ghost grass type. Its abilities include pickup or frisk. Its hidden ability is insomnia. There's boys, there's girls. They range in height. There's the small size, which is 2 feet 4 inches. The average size, 2 feet 11 inches. The large. Are you taking notes on this?
Yep.
Okay. The large. Average. The large is 3 feet 7 inches, and the super size 5 feet 7 inches, and they range in weight as well, with small being 20.9 pounds on average, the average size being 27.6 pounds, give or take, the large size being 30.9 pounds, and the big jump here going from the large size to the super size being 86 pounds. I mean, that's a big jump. The 5 feet, 86 pounds. I mean, that's big.
That's rare Punkaboo.
They're big.
It's not a Punkaboo. What's it called?
Gourgeist.
Gourgeist. I guess it's like more gourd looking.
Gourgeist. You tell well, let me see. Yeah, I'd say there's some gourd elements there.
Oh, I get it. Because the pumpkin is a gourd.
What?
Is the duck out there?
There's a Gourgeist in there. There's Nikhil.
Can I have the rag, please? Thanks, Mom Brain.
We're good?
I'm the one who soiled myself, and you want the rag. Okay.
That was defense of the rag. We don't want it getting.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
You're so
Thank
welcome.
Mom Brain is here.
I am.
Nikki Hill is here.
Hi.
Kirby's here.
Hey.
I'm here. I'll say.
What have you been playing, Mommy?
Oh dear.
Are you tangled?
I just ripped out part of my beard on my glasses.
No. It's one hair, and he's like, part of my beard.
That one hair is part of my beard.
So if you take a bite of food and you end up with a hair in your mouth,
yeah.
Do you go, oh, I got a beard hair in my mouth? Or do you go, oh, I've eaten my beard? I devoured myself.
I don't say either of those things because eating my
beard.
beard is part of a daily routine anyway.
Oh, hi, if you took my beard.
Hello to Do and Twisted N and Elfman and the Aloe Wolf and Patrick Rogers and Timothy Honeycutt and Retroaz and Agent Ironcat and Yosho and Axel and Javier and Patrick. Did I say Patrick? I probably did. And Deontay and Cedar and Do and I don't know. And It's the Trap and whoever else I didn't say hello to. Thanks for joining us. I greatly appreciate it. Hello, Nader Die and Hailman. How's everybody's Saturday going, guys?
Hey, I'm good. I'm with friends.
What'd you say?
I'm good. I'm with friends.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
How's your Saturday?
What?
I forgot what day it was. Yeah, it's going pretty good.
My day's been great.
I mean, the weather today is
It's
just
perfect.
fantastic.
It's perfect.
What a day. It's like, I swear to God, if we get snow after today, there's going to be a riot. It's going to be a riot in the streets.
We're due for one more. It's called the onion snow.
Onion?
The onion snow. We've had this conversation before.
I kind of remember it.
The
Can you
onion
explain
snow,
it?
it's the last. It's like you get a blast of nice weather and then there's snow. And it doesn't last and it doesn't do much, but you get like a good amount of snow and it's called an onion snow.
Because the snow ruins the onion harvest, right?
I don't know why. I mean, I'm assuming it has something to do with like it lets you know that the onions are like you can plant them or they're ready or something, but I don't think it hurts the onions. I'll look it up.
It better not hurt the onions because we all love the onions,
So
right?
I learned something today.
Thanks, Mom Brain. Well,
Thank
that's
you.
today's show.
Onion snow. According to the farmersalmanac.com. What is an onion snow? Is a term particular to the state of Pennsylvania, originated by. Hold on, got an ad coming through. Originated by the Pennsylvania Dutch culture and language, and refers to a snowfall that occurs after the spring onions have been planted and comes right as they're sprouting. A late spring snow, an indicator for when it's a good time to start planting onions. Either way, the snowfall is defined as light and melts quickly and is usually the final snowfall before the end of the spring season. Now you know.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
Ooh, here's something you didn't know. I didn't know. Another late spring snow term to originate from the Pennsylvania Dutch is called a sapling bender, referring to when it snows heavily in the spring, bending the branches of the new sapling.
It sounds like a Pokemon move. Sapling bender.
It sounds
like Sap Sipper.
I feel like it sounds like a real creepy old dude who lives in a college town. He's like going on a sapling bender.
So we'll add it to Urban Dictionary. We could started trending. Get people using
Look at that
it.
perv. He's out on a real sapling bender.
All right.
It
Oh,
does sound dirty.
today was just very busy. I didn't have time to do an icon for a new segment. Cool. I apologize.
Oh man.
We'll get to it next time.
I
But
just
there,
keep hearing, like, every week I just keep hearing more
Die,
and more
monster.
I mean,
excuses.
you were here. You saw that I was working right on. That's why the podcast is late. Hello, Stakona.
I don't know. I saw when I walked in, the door slammed shut, and you said, "Don't look at me."
I didn't say anything. I just closed the door.
Your
But it is
words
true.
are as empty as your soul.
I was in my
You
work
slammed
outfit.
the door, and then after you cracked it open, said, "Do you have more lotion?"
I'm working real hard in here. There's something I wanted to mention. I was talking to Mom Brain about it a little bit, so we'll talk about this right now before we get into news. I've seen a lot of people talking about how Microsoft and Nintendo are trying to do basically Nintendo Direct style videos. And they haven't gone over all that well because I don't know, their fans just weren't happy. They didn't like the style of the presentation. They didn't like the news that was talked about. And I was talking to Mom Brain when when Sony did their whatever it was called. It wasn't called like a PlayStation Direct. Whatever it was called, when they did that, Nintendo Direct ended up trending on Twitter because people were saying how Sony was doing their own Nintendo Direct and how Nintendo Directs were more enjoyable. So now that this sentiment is out there, I've seen a lot of outlets and people in general talking about how these other companies are trying to do direct style presentations and it's not really working out for them. And why is that? And I think for anyone who's a Nintendo fan and has watched Nintendo Directs, the answer is very easy. They don't have the same approach or charm that Nintendo has because they just take it very seriously. Nintendo's Nintendo Directs are fun, and Nintendo doesn't mind taking themselves not seriously. They're fine with goofing around.
Is this part of the news? I'm sorry.
It's not news. Okay. That's why I literally said before I get into the news.
I was in the middle of stuff.
Yeah, it lacks the charm, like the whimsical nature that Nintendo has with their Nintendo Directs, because Nintendo doesn't take themselves seriously all the time, especially in Directs. They like to goof around and do silly things, and they have like just heart in them. And I think the other ones are just like, we have to show the games and, you know, just take it very seriously.
A Nintendo Direct is like they've invited you over for like snacks. Like, come on over, hang out. And like the Microsoft, like everybody else's stuff is like, we got to use corporate buzzwords and we got to get this corporate business and we got to get these ratings and these people. And Nintendo's like, yeah, come hang out.
I haven't seen any of the other ones. Unless you're talking about like the press events at events.
What?
Like that Sony press thing that they did at E3 last year, which was just like, let's sit here and we're going to just talk in a panel about games that were coming out. And like
they're like E3 stuff. No, no, we're not talking about that.
So
they just recently did something, and Sony's thing just wasn't received well by Sony fans for the most part. Obviously, not everybody was against it or disliked it.
Would you say it's almost like how Marvel is somewhat whimsical and fun, and DC is just sticking to the brooding? I haven't seen all the recent stuff. I haven't seen
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
What were you gonna say?
He was gonna say Aquafina.
Yeah, I
haven't seen Aquafina.
I was gonna try to come up with something witty, but you know, Aqua is just good. That's what he is.
I haven't seen Aqua yet. The band.
I'm a Barbie girl.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I don't know what the last DC related movie I saw was, but yes, I have heard people say that Marvel is like fun and.
Which I think, going back to that, sorry to say it again, I just feel like maybe Captain Marvel was a little like the writing in the movie was like playful, but that portrayal was like something was real hard ass about it or something. It was like tough, like you can't crack me, I'm tough and I'm the hero of the brawl or whatever. Is that who she is? Who does she fight for?
Yep, no, that's it. Hero of the Crawl.
No, what? She's a. Who is she?
It's a donut shape.
Heroes of the Crawler.
Crawl nut.
So you thought Captain Marvel was too serious?
I just recently saw an image, like a cutscene, not a cutscene, but just a screen grab or something, and I was like, you know, she smiled or she was whatever, but like, she just seemed bitter. I don't know.
So girls should always be smiling.
No, it's not that, because I know that.
Come on, honey, smile for me. Why aren't you smiling for me, sweetie?
Maybe it's because...
You know what? Thor does a hell of a lot of smiling. He is a charming MFer.
He is.
No, I mean, he didn't start out that way, though. You watched the original Thor and then Thor...
He doesn't smile too
Ragnarok.
Much
It's completely... His vibe in Thor Ragnarok is completely different.
My only experience with him has been in the Avengers films, and he's pretty light in those, I think.
You haven't seen Thor or Thor the Dark World?
Or
Thor Ragnarok?
I saw Ragnarok.
Well, Ragnarok, yes, is very much akin to what he is in the Avengers movies. But yeah, Thor, he's like a whole part of Thor is about him like not knowing how to act, like as far as like normal people go, because he's from somewhere else. So he's like very weird. Obviously speaks differently because he doesn't know our Earth words and all that stuff.
Earth words? I mean, he speaks the same language.
Exactly.
Yeah, what
But
are
he
the odds
does.
of that?
I mean, he does smile in the first movie, obviously.
He just
but
sounds like more
his,
proper.
Thor in the
I
first
still
movie compared to
remember.
Thor Ragnarok is completely different. He's much more like witty in Thor Ragnarok.
And I'm not trying to cut down Captain Marvel. I saw a screen grab of her just standing there being like, but like,
So
like
this discussion is based on a screen grab.
like working towards a scowl or something, like
What were we
fighting
talking about
for it.
before?
And I was like, this, like, it's a little heavy.
I think, and I don't know because I haven't seen her in anything else. I just don't think she's a very good actor. But I don't know. I haven't seen her in anything else.
What do you think, Manch?
I did not care for her acting. But yes.
Maybe
So yeah, Microsoft.
Microsoft. Yeah, I think, I hope those companies can get stuff together that their fans appreciate. But yeah, I think Nintendo Directs are a little bit of Nintendo magic, and the other companies don't really, A, have that, or B, know how to harness that yet. I'm not saying they couldn't get to that point. Hello, Ralu. I'm sure they can. They're just not there yet.
But if Microsoft or Sony did that, I feel like people would be like, "Oh, look at them trying to be Nintendo." And like, they're
Are
gonna
you
cut them
telling
down
me
for
that the
too.
internet would have a complaint or a negative reaction no matter what happens?
Yeah, I mean they have one now, and they will have one.
That's the internet. That is my life every single day. No matter how I do something, no matter what I do, when I do it, how I do it, there's always someone who thinks it's wrong.
And some people just have a problem with conflict.
And they there's nothing you can do. Hi, Simon. Simon says, "Hey guys, I don't think Sony or Microsoft have the same type of relationship with their fans that Nintendo does with theirs. I think it's a problem that stems from focusing on graphics, tech, and story first. I don't know what it is. It's just Nintendo's different. I think that's what I'm not going to say. The other companies are focusing on the wrong things. I just think Nintendo's very different when it comes to the game industry, and that shows in their presentations.
And they come from different
They're
places.
goofy.
I mean, Nintendo is a Japanese company, and Microsoft and PlayStation, Sony are American, right?
Not quite.
Not so.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they
What
do
you
from
mean?
here on out.
Their name is, they're so New York.
Oh my God, he's right.
They are so New York, it's unbelievable.
We are so New York. Hello, Fred. Hello, Joe. You didn't miss much. No, we didn't even get into news, Joe, which we're going to do right now. Let's talk about
even
news.
if we had, you
Wait, this
still
isn't
probably
news?
wouldn't have missed
We
it.
are talking about Microsoft. Now, it's an interesting. Hello, Santiago. It's an interesting discussion I've seen people having lately. But we're talking about Microsoft because Microsoft has a service called PlayFab Party. And this offers voice chat, voice to text, text to voice, and more for all different platforms, including Switch. So at GDC 2019, Microsoft had a PlayFab Party booth set up. And at the booth, they had a Switch there showcasing how this service works. The specific blurb says PlayFab Party is a set of cross-platform libraries and services for easily adding multiplayer real-time networking and chat communication to your game. Party joins PlayFab multiplayer services, matchmaking, and leaderboards as services built to enable dynamic and inclusive community experiences. So basically, Microsoft has a Switch SDK for this PlayFab Party thing, and that will allow developers to add all these features to their games without actually having to develop them on their own. They can just use this software development kit and plop it down into the game. Obviously, there will be a little bit of tweaking necessary to get it to work, but now we have multiple companies that are offering solutions for voice chat and other voice-related things on the Switch. So if a company wants to add in those services, they don't have to take time developing those things on their own. They can go with somebody else's stuff.
The Switch does not have a microphone.
The Switch does not have a microphone.
So how do they get voice chat? With
Uh,
a headphone jack? But
yeah.
even that needs to have, or what is it, a stereo jack, and they isolate, or like they dedicate one side to a microphone or something like.
well, I mean, like that's how we all play Fortnite now. We plug in the headphones into our headphone jack.
What is Fortnite?
It's a semi-popular battle royale game.
Battle
Yeah,
Royale, no,
you
that's
just
a
plug in
thing.
your headset and talk. That's it.
Okay, so that's their way around that.
Yeah, so if you're playing docked, you will need to have a wireless headset. Like a lot of people have their USB headsets that they... Hi, Ness, thanks for joining us. A lot of people have their USB headsets that they plug into the dock and play that way. Or some people have a very long aux cord wire that they sit with, which is what I do because it's not long, but I'm sitting at my desk when I'm playing. And I talk that way.
Sitting at your desk and your TV's all the way out here?
Well, usually I'm playing like to record something, and then if somebody wants to play something later, it's already there, and I'm sitting there working, so I'll just play there.
Question. I would like to hijack your podcast for one quick second and
Please,
just
go
put this
right
out
ahead.
there. Everybody listening in the chat,
Hi, all 41.
and even people who listen later during the week or whenever you hear this, if anyone knows of the audio clip of Power of Love from Back to the Future, but all of the instruments have been replaced with Marty saying Doc. I've been looking for this. If you guys can find it.
Where did this come from?
Because you said on the dock and I started
I
singing
did
it.
say
And
Doc.
I started singing Doc, Doc.
Honestly,
Doc,
I was
Doc,
thinking of
Doc,
the same
Doc.
song.
If somebody can find it, please hook us up because I've been searching for it and it's gold.
If it wasn't like such a weird clip that was randomly put out on the internet like one day, I'm sure a listener would send it to us, but it's hard to find. So
I don't know if it was, I think it was a Vine.
Everybody in the
Several
chat
years
is
ago.
saying that they need to hear this.
Was it a Vine?
And Fred is saying, Nikki Hill, why don't you sing it live right now?
Doc, 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 doc,
That's
doc.
it.
That's basically it. But it's so good.
Yeah, it's out there somewhere. Someone's got it or knows where it is. Steel Diver says PlayStation is canceled. Yeah, Microsoft was not showing off this PlayFab party service for the PS4 because Sony doesn't really want anything to do with that stuff.
So New York.
Steel Diver.
So
I'm playing
New
one of your
York, I'm
songs
sorry.
today.
What?
I'm playing one of Steel Diver's songs today.
Well, what a world. So we'll see what happens there, what games end up implementing that. And Microsoft's own games might end up implementing that because they have said that other games are coming to the Switch from them.
Did
And
you
we'll have to
watch
see if they use
this demonstration?
Of what?
What does the text to voice sound like? Or is it just like your phone, like Siri or something?
Yeah, it's like a robot voice.
I want to hear
Okay.
it.
No, it's not going to do that. There is a big rumor that caused a whole bunch of other discussion this week. And it came from the Wall Street Journal. And we've heard that there might be a Switch redesign, but now Wall Street Journal has talked to, what did they say?
What do they say?
Information comes from people familiar with the matter. And they were talking to Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal says their inside information shows them that there are 2 Switch redesigns on the way.
Shows them.
What?
The information shows them. I don't know that they've seen it with their own 2 eyes, but they have talked to developers who are supposedly working on this hardware now. So here's what they had to say. The launch could happen as early as summer 2019, and one version will have enhanced features targeted at avid gamers. Their words, not mine. This version still won't be as powerful as the Xbox One or PS4, but will be more powerful than the Switch is right now. The other version is a cheaper option aimed at casual gamers. The new models are likely to be unveiled at this year's E3 and possibly released just a few months later. The Switch redesigns aren't just similar looking new versions with a higher or lower performance. To cut costs for the cheaper version, Nintendo plans to eliminate some of the functions used in the original Switch console. They're saying that it could cut the vibration feature. So that would mean, as far as Switch is concerned, HD Rumble. Would they cut HD Rumble from a cheaper version of the Switch? I don't know. But yeah, possibly, because there really aren't too many games that make good use or any use of HD Rumble. And that includes Nintendo's titles. Yes, Nintendo has used HD Rumble. But when it comes to third-party efforts, they usually just use the Rumble feature as an on and off Rumble like you do on any other platform. There's very few third parties that actually implement HD Rumble. Indie Creates is one of them. Blaster Master 02 is available now, and that uses HD Rumble, and I think it uses it very well. I really like the way it uses it. But as far as third parties go, no, they don't put a lot of emphasis into HD Rumble. They usually just go with traditional on and off Rumble, and that's it. So cutting it for a cheaper version of the Switch, I guess, would make sense because it's not like there would be any games really where HD Rumble is needed to play the game. The only time I can think of that is in 1-2 Switch, where there are games that you need HD Rumble to play. But outside of 1-2 Switch, I can't think of a single game that uses HD Rumble where it's 100% necessary to the experience.
Most action games, you're just gonna feel like the buzz when you make contact or something like that. If they ever did some sort of trauma center style game where you
call it trauma center,
and you're doing very sensitive procedures.
Yes.
Then that would be awesome.
Oh, there are plenty of games where it could be used and should be used. Yes, it's just developers tend not to do it. Nintendo believes the new Switch model won't need the vibration feature because not many games use the full benefit of it, like we said. Sharp is expected to provide the screens for the new Switch designs, and Nintendo is preparing new games for this title, or for these redesigns. And these new games will be part of well-known franchises, but I think that's just referring to like Pokemon and Animal Crossing, although there's other games in there.
What if they removed the touchscreen?
That, I think, is a bad idea because multiple games use that. And I really don't think...
But like how many multiple? Because a lot of the games are being played... But a lot of the games are being played docked.
Hundreds. No, more people play portable.
Really?
Yeah. Their most recent results show that more people play portable. Plus, I don't think touchscreen is anything that's like ballooning cost by any means. Like touchscreens are standard. It's
but having little elves in the controller to make different rumble patterns is
what? I
imagine that's how they.
I get the elves thing, but what do you? That's why they would cut that. Yeah, the elves are expensive.
Why are they expensive? They get thrown in there for the rest of their lives. They're not fed. You don't pay them anything.
That's why it's so expensive because they die and then it just doesn't work anymore. T27 Duck has a top-rated comment, and he says, not being on par with current-gen PS4 or Xbox One is disappointing. I mean, honestly, I don't give a crap. Like, it's not, I don't care. Like, I don't care at all. Like, when I was playing the Wii, I wasn't like, oh, man, I wish this was as powerful as the PS3 or Xbox 360. I honestly don't care. But I know people do care about that, so we'll see. We'll see. The Switch seems to be doing pretty damn well for where it is as far as power goes, because it's more about the games and not about the power of the platform. Hello, Tony. Thanks for joining us. Moving on, one of my favorite stories of the week. WayForward has confirmed that Shantae 5 is in development, and it's coming to the Switch.
Big deal for Mr. Cowboy here.
I thought it was going to be quite some time until we saw a new Shantae, because Shantae Half Genie Hero was the Kickstarter game, and it didn't come out all that long ago, but I guess it was, what, a couple of years?
I mean, they were working. I think they've been
I want to
working
say at least 3 years.
Because it came out on Wii U.
But they continued working on extra content for it, too. So it's not like they just came out and they stopped and they could do something else.
So, yeah, Shantae 5 is in development. We still don't know if we've seen footage of it or not. And I say that because there is a very quick gameplay clip. And we don't know if it's from Shantae 5 or a previous Shantae. This was shown as part of Apple. Apple did an event where they were showcasing their Apple TV Plus service, which is a service that provides, basically it's like Netflix, but for Apple. But Apple's going to have a whole bunch of exclusive content on there. And they're also doing a games streaming service as part of it. And WayForward is doing games for that service. And one of the games is Shantae 5. So we see a very quick clip of some Shantae game. It's like a second or a second and a half at most. And I don't, it's not enough for me to say that it's from Shantae 5. I tweeted that to WayForward, and they liked the tweet, but didn't specifically say if it was or wasn't Shantae 5. So they said something
there is a Shantae 5, but you're just not sure if the footage that you saw is from Shantae 5.
Yeah, I mean, in our post, you can see the clip if you want to. And they tweeted, they liked my tweet, and they said something like "nice catch" or something like that. But they didn't say yes, it's Shantae 5.
In the tweet?
No.
That wasn't a fishing pond?
No fishing pun. Maybe Shantae 5 is all about fishing, and I don't know that yet. And later on, we'll be like, oh my god, they were teasing this major fishing. Maybe Shantae can turn into a fish in this one. I don't know.
Whoa.
Mr. Life says, well, that just made my day. Thanks, Way Forward. It made mine too. I really didn't think we'd get another Shantae game this soon,
I
but
think I played that last game, right?
Half Genie Hero? I don't know. You tell me.
What are you doing?
Is this really the 5th one?
Hello, optimistically cynical. I don't know. You tell me. Where was the last Shantae game you played? What platform? You can't even tell me the system you played it on?
Dude, I can't tell you what I had for
Well,
breakfast
then
this morning.
then I can't help you at all. If you give me a system, we can at least
sit
narrow
here
it
and we
down.
all talk about what we played this past week. Do you ever remember me talking about it?
That's a lot of episodes to unpack. Moving on, we have some more information on the rumored Switch redesigns, and this comes from Eurogamer, who has talked to their sources, and again, these are sources that they say are working on the devices. And here's what they followed up the report with. They say Nintendo is hoping to cater to the same two audiences it served with the 2DS and the new 3DS XL through these Switch redesigns. The cheaper option is aimed at casual gamers currently still using the 3DS, and the unit's design will be sturdier than the current Switch model in order to be kid-proof. Costs will be driven down by the removal of several features, and this model will be handheld only. So it sounds like you will not be able to dock it. So no dock obviously cuts the cost right there. But if you're interested in a Switch that you can never hook up to the TV, then it sounds like this will be the one to go to. So obviously, yes, that would cut some costs there.
Do you think the controller's still coming?
I mean, you could play tabletop still, I guess. So maybe, but I would guess no.
Is Mom Brain taking a shower?
I don't know what nail stuff, I think. Yeah, I would guess no. I would guess they're going to be on there, and that's it.
So that it's becoming less of a Switch and more of just a Wii U you can take around with.
That's what people are saying. Like, it's part of the Switch's thing is how you can switch between how you're playing and what you're playing on. So, but then there will be the other version of the Switch, the more powerful version, which is still retaining all the other features. So, but yes, I've been saying I think a portable-only version of the Switch makes a lot of sense, especially with Animal Crossing coming out, because there are going to be people who use Switch as an Animal Crossing machine, and that's it. And they don't care about playing on TV, and they want to have the Switch with them all the time to play Animal Crossing. So people still carry around their 3DSs to play Animal Crossing there. So.
What if it's like a Switch and it plays Switch games, but it's like the Game Boy Micro?
That tiny? I don't think so.
Hey, the screen on that was great.
On the model with better specs, the bump will be comparable to what we've seen between the 3DS to the new 3DS. So again, you know, nothing like major, and maybe there will be some games who have some added features to make use of this extra power, but nothing crazy. Again, this is all just rumor and speculation. Because we haven't seen any definitive evidence yet, but I would say personally I believe it to be true, and I'm sure we will find out something at E3. Steel Diver says, just give us some basic multimedia support and I'm in. Who am I kidding? They could shovel in a box and I would still buy it. But damn, I wish I could do. I wish it could do what my PSP could. So he wants more multimedia features on his Switch. And I think Nintendo's thinking is there's plenty of platforms and devices and other ways to do that multimedia stuff. They want their focus to be on games, which is why they do what they do. So obviously, much like I said with the internet, some people will hate that and some people will love it. So we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't expect Nintendo to take a major multimedia focus on the platform.
Hey, what happened?
It just seems like they're not too interested in that. Moving on.
I was waiting for an I am interested.
I did it already.
I want to
earlier in the show.
I want to say that we have a review of Yoshi's Crafted World courtesy of Nintendon. So thank you to Nintendon for putting that review together. Hello, Holden. Thanks for joining us. You can come out? It's out now. Yesterday.
Yesterday.
It's out now. Yesterday.
I haven't even had the chance to play it yet, and I have been dying to play it, and I haven't had a
Well,
chance.
looking at that review, I don't know if you
Should I
should.
really want to?
Did you read the review?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I will tell you,
Read
Nintendo
it.
does not use letters or numbers or stars either. Must be,
I edit his reviews.
must be a Go Nintendo.
I edit his reviews. Yes, he sends me the review, and I pour through it. And
And I delete it.
And
I
make my
change
own.
it completely.
and put his name on it.
That's right. No, he sent it to me earlier in the week, and I always edit because he is not a native English speaker, so there needs some editing to be done. But no, I do not change his opinions in the review. They're still his
I don't know.
opinions.
Let's hear from him. I mean,
All right, Nintendo, tell us.
is that true? I mean, does Rami really just?
What Rami says is true.
He doesn't,
I'm Nintendo.
he
Yeah, it
doesn't
doesn't
sound
sound
like
like him
that.
at all.
Yes, that's him, exactly. Moving on.
What's this about?
Something that was speculated upon turned out to be true. Yacht Club's next game is not a game they are developing themselves. Basically, they're assisting in development and publishing, but the project actually comes from a developer who calls himself Mecha Skull. And the game is... So we knew that they teased it with an image, and people kind of figured out what it was going to be, and it turns out they were true. The game is Cyber Shadow, which looks amazing. Cyber Shadow is coming out this year. It's going to be $15. It'll be on Switch, obviously. We just don't know when exactly it's coming out. The blurb says, the world has been taken over by synthetic life forms. A desperate plea for help sets Shadow on a journey to uncover what started the path to perpetual ruin. Slash through the techno hordes, leap past traps, and nimbly navigate the ruins of Mecha City in Cyber Shadow. It provides an authentic 8-bit presentation with handcrafted sprites, a detailed pixel aesthetic, and perfect controls. Modern touches like fluid animation, multi-layered parallax backgrounds, and evolved game design. Hello, Tom.
This is Ninja Gaiden.
I would disagree, but we'll have to agree to disagree like we usually do. It's got Ninja Gaiden elements, certainly. I would
There's
say
the one
So
level
you're
where
saying it
stuff's
smells like
coming down. I
shit.
was like, what? That's the game. That's it.
it's got the one level where stuff's coming down.
Or
And
like the one screen grab. Or
if you said that,
everything's based on.
it's the
screen grab.
game where the one level has stuff coming down. Do you think anyone would
Oh, that
answer Ninja Gaiden?
And there's music in the background.
It
Whoa.
certainly shares a visual style
This
close.
is all made by one guy.
Well, he's getting help from Yacht Club now, but yes, it is the project of one man.
Wow.
It has a visual style that's very similar to what you saw in Batman on the NES, where the emphasis is on dark black backgrounds and like very heavily shaded characters with touches of color on them. I really like that art style a lot.
It reminds me also kind of The Messenger, but I never played that game, so I wouldn't know.
No. Wait, the gameplay style does, or
I
the
mean,
visual style?
It's a ninja running around with a
So
sword.
basically, ninjas. Yes, he's a robot ninja though.
Oh,
That's the
Cyber
serious
Shadow.
thing.
Yes, he's a robot ninja. You can see his face like bleeding out precious robot juices in one screen or one part of the trailer.
He's got to replenish his fluids.
That's right. So like I said, we don't know when this is coming out, but it is Yacht Club's next published game. Obviously, Yacht Club still has stuff they're doing for Shovel Knight, which is going to come out this year too. But color me excited. This game looks so good. I've been following this game long before it was tied to Yacht Club or was even confirmed for Switch release, but now it's both. So obviously with Shovel Knight and Cyber Shadow, Yacht Club's aesthetic is very obvious to people. So this game seems like a perfect fit.
Hey, Cyber Shadow. ASL.
What?
Want a Cyber Shadow?
Popple says, yes, please, instant buy. My only complaint is that it doesn't cost more. Yacht Club certainly deserves it after as much free content they gave me for Shovel Knight. Yes, Yacht Club has done a buttload of free content for Shovel Knight, but it has worked out for them because that free content has pushed more people to buy the games, or their games. So speaking of games that were rumored and now confirmed, Wolfenstein Youngblood is confirmed for the Switch. So This was a game that was announced at E3 last year. The official website said it was coming to Switch, but it was removed very quickly after that. Multiple retailer listings for a Switch version popped up, but they were all removed later. And then just a couple weeks ago, GameStop re-added the listing to their internal system. And we were like, uh-oh, maybe it is coming. Well, it's officially confirmed. Wolfenstein Youngblood is coming to the Switch on July 26th, 2019. That is day and date with the other versions, because the Switch version was planned from day one, as with the other versions. This is a side story Wolfenstein experience where you play as the twin daughters of B.J. Blazkowicz, Jess and Soph, or Soph.
B.J. Blazkowicz.
That's his name.
That is a great name.
And you'll play to liberate Paris from the Nazi threat as you search for your father in the first open-ended co-op adventure in the Wolfenstein series. Here's a really cool feature. So lots of companies do their regular edition and their limited editions. Well, the deluxe edition for Wolfenstein Youngblood throws in something else that makes it worth a purchase, although there's skins and all that stuff in there. The really cool feature is the Buddy Pass. If you buy the deluxe edition, you get the Buddy Pass. What does the Buddy Pass do? Well, one person can buy the game, and a second person can play it with you without buying the game. So,
wait, what's that called?
But that costs more money.
Industry.
That was something with the DS.
Cross something.
It's on the DS, right?
well, they did single card download play.
That's what it was called. I don't really know.
But yes, so now you can buy the game, or a friend can buy the game, and the other person can play completely for free.
How much more is that?
How much more is the deluxe edition?
Yeah.
I don't know. You got to go take a look.
Yeah, we'll find out eventually.
We'll find out. You can find out right now.
Oh, dude, can I?
Yeah, go to Amazon. Look it up.
Amazon? Amazon's got this game?
I'm sure they do. So yeah, that is very cool, because obviously that
start advertising a bunch of like Nazi stuff. Did I look it up? What is it called? Youngbloods?
No, Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Wolf.
Steel Diver says, I really want a good Family Guy video game, but this is okay too. Also, all you digital people got what you wanted in Australia. Are you happy? This is a game that's co-op.
No price.
But it doesn't have to be played co-op. You can play it single player. But yes, if you have a friend who wants to play and they would never pay for this game or play it otherwise, aka Do Michaels, this is the way to get your Do Michaels friend to play the game. So I love the more recent Wolfenstein. I love all Wolfensteins in general, but
so on PS4.
PS4.
Yeah.
On Sony New York.
So on PS4.
On So New York.
On So New York 4, it's
now
the standard.
The PlayStation's called the So New York 4. They don't even say PlayStation anymore.
It's the standard version is $30. $29. It's under $30. It's $29.99.
Okay.
The deluxe is currently unavailable.
Okay.
Same thing with Xbox One. So this game is only $30.
So I guess at most it'll be $50. Maybe $60. Maybe it'll make you do like a regular retail price.
You get a discounted price for the game, and then it wouldn't be $60 because that would just be then I would buy it and you would buy it. So like $50.
You make a good point. Right? Yeah, 50 sounds about right. Yeah, maybe who knows? Maybe it'll be 40. That would be great.
But Nintendo Switch does not have a price
for either.
Because
it's cartridge, so it might be more pricey.
No, well the other ones were. Oh, you think the cartridge is more than the disc?
Yeah, we've talked about the Switch tax a million times on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, they have to get the flavoring on it.
That's right. That game card flavoring is not
flavor the discs.
They had. Here's a little. Hello, Autumnal Blake. Here's a little fact that people don't talk about. There's actually like 50 different flavors of Switch game cards, but every publisher goes with butt for their flavor that they want. We could have cherry or we could have vanilla, but no, they all want butt. Butt's the cheapest.
Nobody wants to sell a cherry flavor one. Kids will be eating those things and choking on them left and right.
I'm gonna go right into this story because it's related to Wolfenstein. Just quickly, if you're worried that Wolfenstein Youngblood on Switch isn't going to be any good, you don't need to worry anymore because the developer is Panic Button, who is known for their excellent work on other top-tier AAA Switch games and Switch ports. And Panic Button did the port of Wolfenstein 2 on the Switch, so they know what they're doing. But Panic Button also did Doom and Warframe and other Rocket League and a whole bunch of top tier ports.
Warframe is that other
free to play
battle royale kind of?
No battle royale. Nope. It's kind of like Destiny. Online, co-op, multiplayer, missions.
Oh,
collect stuff.
I thought it was co-op.
No, there's no 100 player versus player. It's all about go on story missions as a team together. It's like The Division, basically.
Oh, free to play. I would have paid for that.
Well, there's things you can buy if you want. Hello, Cumulative. Going back in our top story, Smash Bros. Ultimate is now the best-selling Switch game in Japan of all time. The previous record holder was Splatoon 2, which sold 2,970,000 copies. But Smash Bros. Ultimate is the new top-selling Switch game in Japan of all time. It's at 2,974,000. So Splatoon 2 was a runaway success in Japan, and it took it quite some time to get to just shy of 3 million. And Smash Bros. Ultimate came out in December, and it's already just shy of 3 million.
Do they announce this as being the best, the highest-selling Switch game of all time, or are you saying of all time?
What do you mean? They didn't announce it.
It's just the truth.
I
think it's funny saying of all time because it's of the past 2 years, right? The system's been out for 2 years now.
Yeah. So that's what you want me to say?
It's just funny.
If I say
of all time, no, it's not all time.
Yes. You want me to say the Switch's entire lifespan?
Sure. Or just say
because
from best-selling Switch game in the past 2 years.
Yeah, but if I said if it's the best-selling Switch game of the last 2 years, then people would probably think, well, what's the overall bestseller?
This one. Because it's only been out for 2 years.
So for every system, I have to be so when the Switch is 8 years old, I have to be of the last 8 years. When you're quantifying a year like that, it makes people wonder, A, what the time span is, and B, how many other years are there.
Don't get mad at me about it. It's just hilarious.
Why? I don't understand why it's funny at all. So it's funny to you because it's only been 2 years, 2+ years.
Right, of all time implies since the beginning of time.
Well, that is true. Yes, that is 100% true.
I mean, it is, but I don't know. It's kind of the same thing that I get a chuckle when I see a company on their awning and it says, since 2016, and I'm I'm happy for you, but that's not as impressive as the one that's been going since 1952 or something like that. It's just
So you write the headline for me. Serious question. You write the headline for me.
My screen went dark.
I want to know seriously what you would write.
I can't get into my phone now.
You know every detail of the story.
Smash Brothers Ultimate. Yeah. So Smash Brothers sells well in Japan.
I see. I wanted a serious answer.
Give me the dice. Go get me the dice, and we'll come up with a headline.
The Destructor 94 says, "All hail the king, baby."
Bow down to the.
Yes, the whole reason why it's the bestseller of the last 2+ years is because King K. rules in Smash Brothers. That is the answer.
Is that right? No. Is he a big draw in Japan?
I don't know how many people would have never bought a Smash Brothers game, but were compelled to buy it because King K. Rool was in it.
Maybe, though, going back to Legend of Zelda, because Breath of the Wild was a different approach, and Breath of the Wild is one of the best-selling Zelda games in Japan, right? Had the one of the
I'm
largest...
trying to formulate how I'm supposed to say my answer. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the best-selling Legend of Zelda game in the entire franchise's history. Is that appropriate?
In Japan.
In Japan. And overall.
Because
overall.
Right. But so when Legend of Zelda was released with the Switch.
Of all time.
You can say whatever you want. You can say what you want, but just allow me to chuckle.
Cumulative says what a title that you would probably like. Breath of the Wild is the best-selling Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Among Breath of the Wild. That is 100%
among wild breaths. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, if the install base was already higher and more people are going to want to get it anyway, that can lead to it too. Like, there's a lot. I think there's other factors that probably also helped get this.
Oh yeah,
to this.
it's just, you know, I think the biggest factor was it's a new Smash Brothers and the Switch is popular. I think those are the two biggest factors.
And I mean, there's probably people who didn't own a Nintendo system for a while.
Tom
and now
Fury
they have it, and they
wants me to add in the last 2 years to the whole Breath of the Wild thing. Breath of the Wild is the best-selling Breath of the Wild among Breath of the Wilds in the last 2 years. There we go. That is more appropriate.
That sounds incredibly accurate. And I appreciate it.
Now, that's a headline I can get behind. I was laughing earlier because the Owl Wolf changed the name of Wolfenstein Youngbloods to Wolfenstein Youngbuds because you play together. All right, moving on.
That is also something I can get behind.
Speaking of the Legend of Zelda series, boy, this is great. Monolith Soft is hiring for the next Legend of Zelda something. We don't know what it is, but it is a Legend of Zelda title. We don't think it's tied to Cadence of Hyrule, and we don't think it's tied to the Link's Awakening remake because those are both coming out this year, so those should be taken care of. But they have added multiple job listings for a Legend of Zelda project. They are looking to bring on programmers, planners, and designers. And they said they're looking for people to create surprises and new emotions. So that last one, I don't know how you do that. But
new emotions?
New emotions.
I don't think. I mean, I don't know if we can go much further with them.
Does combining two existing emotions make a new emotion? How about
like angry,
sadness, and
it's one emotion and one non-emotion.
Hangry. Yeah, you can end up being hangry because the game is so hard.
So hangry is a new emotion, we're going to say.
Well, it's not new.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
But I'm just saying it's new to gaming because, well, it's probably not new to gaming either. Like, you're playing something and it's so hard and you can't beat it, so that you're getting angry, but you're also spending all day and all night, so you haven't eaten, so now you're hangry.
But hungry's not an emotion.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It is for me.
So yes, they're working on Legend of Zelda something, and Monolith Soft has worked on the Zelda series before. They were involved with Breath of the Wild.
Have you ever played a game that left you feeling lonely? I mean, I have.
Fragile.
Yeah.
KC44
we all
says
hit that at the same moment. That's it.
Name of Austin.
I just wonder what Ganon's up to.
He's just angry.
Monolith Soft has their vision board, and they have like that one quote from Link up there. The guy, Name of Austin, just recently played through Fragile again, and he was talking about if he was saying it. I don't know if it like stood the test of time. He thought it wasn't going to be as good as it was, but he enjoyed it just the same. He said, "I need to play that again."
He's got a lot of time on his hands if he's playing now.
Well, over the course of a few days. Yeah. KC44 says, "Awesome is likely the landscape, as they are great at that in Xeno games. This pleases my grand mountaintop nips." I like that he still added nips on the end there. We got the idea through mountaintops, but thanks for going the whole way. North America. This week's downloads, what do we get? We got The World Next Door, which is the first game from, I'm going to get it wrong, published by somebody that's anime related. I don't remember. It's supposed to be really good, though. I apologize. Darksiders War Mastered Edition.
Why
did they stop?
Yeah.
Is it clipped still?
Let me just keep going.
Sure.
Dark Metamorphosis.
I'm sorry. Okay. Now you can keep going. Are you going to keep going?
Darksiders War Mastered Edition. I was saying the name again so you could play the clip.
No, I wasn't going to play it again.
Oh, okay.
Dark Metamorphosis.
Hey! 12 Labors of Hercules. Baseball Stars 2. Airfield Mania,
Wait, where are you seeing?
Anger Force Reloaded, Bow to Blood, Last Captain Standing, Cell Damage HD, Chrysler Sigma.
The Hercules one? I could have sworn you said 12 flavors of Hercules.
12 labors of Hercules. Darkest Hunter, Event Horizon, not the movie. Fun Animal Park, Gods Remastered.
Wait, why do they feel the need to do fun?
Goken, Inferno Climber Reborn,
So they can say it's in the name.
Istanbul Digital Edition, Junk Planet, Lyrica, Metagal, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, President FNet, which is a card game, in case anyone wanted to know. Sega Ages Alex Kidd in Miracle World, Sega Ages Gain Ground. Shadow Blade Reload comes out April 3rd in North America, but is out now in Europe if you don't feel like waiting. Hello, Tommy. She Remembered Caterpillars, which is a award-winning puzzle game. Snow Battle Princess Sayuki, Spellkeeper, Ultra Wings, which is basically Pilot Wings, but not made by Nintendo. Undead's Building, Uni or Uni, I don't know which one, and War Party is available. So
Coming to my war party.
I'm having a war party next week. You want it? There are your come on now. There are your North American downloads, my friends. First comment comes from Steel Diver, and he says, looking forward to playing Yuchi and Poshi Crappy World after PAX. RMC, why you no go to PAX? I've never been to PAX ever in my life.
Yeah,
You know why I don't go? Because I got to work. That's why. Because I'm here doing this.
I'm doing this garbage for you idiots.
Another game that was rumored and confirmed, Bulletstorm is heading to Switch. It's the Bulletstorm Duke of Switch Edition, coming out summer 2019. And what's the name? Gearbox was kind of just like, hey guys, Bulletstorm Duke of Switch Edition is coming to Switch summer 2019. That's all we're saying, really. But it's going to be basically like the supersized version of the game that was on other platforms, and maybe some other bells and whistles will be thrown in there, like what do you call it, motion controls and stuff like that. We just don't know for sure right now because they really didn't say too many details. They didn't even put out a press release about it. Although
that game's really old, isn't it?
Bulletstorm, it's not that old.
You know what I mean.
Last generation.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Well, look, they're doing like another version of the original Borderlands again.
Are they?
Yeah, something with like new microtransactions.
Oh, of course.
And they're also doing Borderlands 3, they announced. Make it more fun. We're adding in microtransactions for more fun. Wired says, another rumor that turned out to be true. Yes, my friend, it did turn out to be true. So hopefully we'll get some new details on that, but I don't have anything like to tell you about what's going to be in the Switch version that's not in other versions. Moving on. We got Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes on the Switch this year, and people have been hoping that it will lead to a true successor to No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle. And Suda51 himself was asked about something that happens at the end of Travis Strikes Again, which we're not going to spoil right now.
We'll spoil.
But we will tell you what Suda says about it. He laughed, and he said, I wonder what that was myself. No, he doesn't, because he made the game. Says it might be Travis messing around. I hope around E3 time I'll have something cool to announce. So maybe it's DLC. Maybe it's the announcement of a true successor. I don't know.
I would not be surprised if he was confused about some things in that game, whether he made it or not.
Suda?
Yeah.
I mean, who really knows what goes on in that guy's head? So it's possible. Entropy says, I really have to get this game, and Suda really has to make No More Heroes 3. I would say Suda making No More Heroes 3 is a done deal as of right now. We just have to pretend like it's not. But we'll find out. So look forward to E3 for some Suda news. Here's a crazy story. There's this 24-year-old security researcher. His name is Zamis Clark, who broke into Nintendo's internal network. And while he was there, he got access to unreleased game code at Nintendo, as well as 2,365 usernames and passwords as well. And obviously, Nintendo was not happy about that. He did it. When did he do it? Nintendo didn't find out about the breach until May, but I believe he did it in like April or even maybe late March. I'm not sure. But Nintendo didn't find out about it until later on in the game. And obviously when Nintendo found out, they were very angry and sought to find out who did it. And this same person also broke into Microsoft as well and stole some of their data. So Microsoft and Nintendo joined up for a joint lawsuit. And obviously the lawsuit ended in Nintendo and Microsoft's favor. And Mr. Clark has quite a rough time ahead of him. The estimated damages from this break-in are somewhere between $913,000 and $1.8 million, according to Nintendo. And Microsoft said they estimated the damages to be around roughly $2 million. Mr. Clark has been sentenced to 15 months imprisonment, but it's actually suspended sentence for 18 months. He will not actually be in prison. A serious crime prevention order was granted. No, I didn't say Siri. A serious crime prevention order was granted for a period of 5 years, which carries an unlimited fine and up to 5 years in prison if breached. They decided to not send Mr. Clark to regular prison and give him a suspended sentence instead, because he deals with issues from autism. And they say he would have an inordinately rough time in prison. So they're giving him a special circumstance here. But as far as
resort prison,
paying the money and all that stuff, that that's going to happen. So he screwed things up for himself, basically.
Did they say he suffers from autism?
I don't know what they said. In my head, I'm like, I don't even want to say the autism part because I know Mom Brain's going to say that I said something wrong, and here we are.
No. Did I say anything?
You said, did they say he suffers from autism? And if I said yes, you would say, well, they shouldn't say like that because he's not suffering with it. He's living through it.
He's just
or with it.
Because he's a person with autism.
He has autism. So they said no jail. Do you want me to say that? And now time for your prison sentence. Do you have autism? Yes, I do. Okay, no jail for you. Philo says, isn't this how hackers
because they want to put them to work?
End up being employed by bigger companies in order to find faults in their databases? Or is that an urban online myth? No, that has happened, yeah. There have been people who have broken into various companies' backends. But
isn't Google offering money for people who can hack
Google
Chrome?
Always does, like, they say, like, here's our thing. If you can hack it, show us how you hacked it, and we'll give you money. Yes,
the tech department at school is working.
But there are plenty of people who do that, and they are not interested in that. They just do it and hack it and put the hack out publicly. So obviously, companies try and stop people from doing that by saying, hey, show us the loophole and we'll pay you for it. And yes, they will hire people like that too. But if you have someone who's breaking the law multiple times, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a company who will say, hey, you've broken the law a whole bunch of times, but we want to hire you because you're really good at what you do. Just don't break the law this time.
Better on our side than someone else's.
Yeah, but they could still be hacking and doing bad things internally. So just last night, we found out that there are 2 Olympic titles. Hello, Video Game Guru. 2 Olympic titles coming to the Switch.
Figure skating and swimming. 2 Olympic titles.
There will be figure skating.
Did you say finger skating?
Finger skating, yes. Figure skating.
I expect this to be the best-selling Olympics title on the Switch of all time.
Which one? There's 2. I just got finished saying there's 2 games.
Both of them. I don't know, man.
Both of them will be the best-selling Olympic games on Switch of all time. One of them is a standard 2020 Summer Olympics game on Switch from Sega, but the one that will only be on Switch is a new Mario and Sonic Olympics title, obviously Summer Olympics, again to coincide with the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. So yes, there is a new Mario and Sonic Olympic Games title in the works for Switch, and Switch only. But the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games official video game will be on PS4 and Switch.
Yeah, and the image you posted, I don't know if that's from the actual game or from the past games, of Mario and the whole gang racing, and there's Sonic behind him, and I'm just thinking, Sonic got paid off to throw the race. Like, come on, let's be realistic.
I do not understand how in a foot race Sonic does not win. Yes, that is correct. Maybe he's wearing, well, I think somebody was like, Sonic's wearing his Sonic Rider shoes in this Sonic game, which still means he can run fast, whatever. But you would think if he was going to be in the Olympics, which he shouldn't be, they'd make him wear some sort of shoes that restrict his speed. Why shouldn't he be? Because he's a hedgehog? When was the last time you saw an Olympics where there was a hedgehog running in it?
He's not the only critter that's non-human.
I didn't say that the others shouldn't be there. Mario can be there. Princess Peach can be there. Bowser Jr. shouldn't be there. Toad? He's not a human.
You can't do that. You can't just pick and choose who gets to be in the Olympics.
Well, I did. That's why I'm not making the game. I'm not in charge. They just let everybody in. Kupal says, this game hurts nobody, and yet it seems like people are genuinely upset to see this. People want it. People who want to buy it can buy it. I'm certainly not going to buy it, and you don't have to either. That one of the Winter Olympics Mario and Sonic games that was on the Wii U, I was really happy I bought because it had the curling in it, yes, which I played with your brother like non-stop.
He was like obsessed with
We bought it, and it was like the curling game for us. That's all that it was. Yes, that was the game that inspired him to play curling in real life.
Right. I took actual curling lessons.
But this game will not have curling because it's the Summer Olympics. So I don't know. Trying to think of like a Summer Olympic sport that I would get a sport video game just to play that one.
Pole vaulting.
Well, the past ones had archery,
discus, javelin.
Yeah, but like curling is. See, like the running ones are just like who can run the fastest and who can jump the furthest. Where curling is like a game all in and of itself. You know what I mean?
Like minigame based, aren't they? I mean,
the curling one was just curling. That's why we liked it so much. The Namekian Clown says curling is the best Olympic event. It is. I think it's a lot of fun to watch, and apparently it's getting more popular to watch. So
that's good to hear.
That's good.
Bocce ball.
And finally, today our last top story is Splatoon 2's Springfest Splatfest is on the way. It will take place April 19th, 2019. It is a spring-themed Splatfest. It will have all kinds of spring colors. There will be special spring-themed gear available as well. But the Splatfest itself is Team Hare versus Team Tortoise. Which team will you fight for? I already told my brain Team Tortoise without a doubt. Donut Muffin says, I guess it depends on which waifu you choose. That is true, because some people just base their choice in Splatfest on whether it's Pearl or Marina as the one representing the side. So they don't care who like that character is representing. They just are always Team Pearl or Team Marina. So yes, we'll have to wait to see which one is which. Hello, 1GWX. Nice to see you. All right. That's our top stories. We finished pretty much on time. That's great.
Nice.
Yes, I understand you guys. Thank you for those who are bothering to join us when we have had our time change and other places have not yet. I'm sorry it's leading to some of you missing the show live, but for those who have made a point to still join us, I appreciate it.
What do you wait? I don't get it.
Parts of the world have not done their time change yet.
And they're all behind. What's going on?
We're living in the future. That's what's going on.
Not everybody does that?
That's right. All right. Okay. That's your top stories. Kirby, what have you been playing?
I've actually just been playing through Super Metroid again.
I thought you just beat it.
I did, and now I'm playing through it again.
That is good.
I'm just trying to see if I can beat my time.
What was your first time?
It was like 8 hours and 9 minutes or something.
I'd say that's
was-
a pretty respectable time for like a first real playthrough.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to see if I could get the best ending.
How fast do you need to be for that? I don't even remember. Under
I
3
have
hours?
no idea. Is that
Under
true?
2 hours?
Oh my God. Well, I'm already around 2 hours. But I think I'm making much better time than I did the first time around. So
This is your path to becoming a speedrunner.
I don't think so. No, I don't really count this as like a speed run. I'm just trying to play through it without doing as much backtracking as I did last time because well, I mean, I did like a lot of unnecessary backtracking that like really ate up a lot of time. So that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think I might be enjoying it a little, like even more the second time, because I don't know, it's not quite as frustrating since I have a better general idea of where everything is.
Yeah, there are certain parts the first time through that stumped me too when I was playing all those years ago, and I played it again afterwards. And yes, it makes the experience much more enjoyable where you know exactly where you have to go for some of those sections because. There were a few days there where I was like, I have no idea. Yeah. Like I don't know if I missed something or did something wrong. I don't know where to go.
Yeah, it can be very very cryptic. But where am I now? I think I just
you're at the podcast. You're with us.
No, I meant in the game, but I beat the boss on the ghost ship already.
Oh,
was it scary? Was it spooky?
Spoilers.
Honestly, yeah, that the ghost ship is kind of scary for
It is, yes,
from
I agree.
And the fact that you can't it won't let you save before you fight the boss.
Yeah,
that's like
the scariest part.
It's true. So I think that's all I played this week.
I'm doing the podcast about Nintendo, and someone is text messaging me about Nintendo.
Someone's text messaging me.
And they said to say hi to everybody, so I'm saying hi. I'm saying hi from Killer Dan.
Killer Dan.
Who is Nintendo's boo. Nikki Hill, what have you been playing?
I played.
The name of my phone is Killer Dan.
And completed, I guess. No More Heroes.
Yay!
No, sorry.
I just played.
Travis Strikes Again. No More Heroes.
Yay!
I say I
Squidward.
I think I
like how you.
That's the sound for soundboard. We'll never play it, but I'd be happy to have it there. Come on, Squidward.
I think I beat it. I don't think there's multiple endings in that, right?
Not that I know.
It's just you get what you get. So I guess I beat it.
And what'd you think?
Strange.
Hey, dude.
I mean, I enjoyed the majority of it.
Hi, I love you.
Not without its challenge, for sure. I mean, it's not Cuphead. Oh, I did play Cuphead too.
That's right. I watched
never
play Cuphead.
Never picking that crap.
Played it once and never played it again.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It was nice to have Travis back.
Yes.
So I looked into it. The voice actor who does Travis Touchdown.
Yes.
There's a lot of
Hi, Mother Brain.
Other voice acting for like Russian character, like just Eastern European characters, and just like other ethnic characters. Whatever. He's got an incredible range in his voice to be able to do that stuff. And I don't want to insult the guy, but I'm kind of, after playing this game, I really want a No More Heroes movie or something with Paul Rudd as Travis Touchdown.
Why? Because
I think he would have so much fun with it. And he sounds like him. He does kind of sound like him. And I just think it would be a hoot. But I enjoyed it.
I love Paul Rudd, so I'll take him in anything.
I think he would really have. He seems like a fun guy. I think he would have a lot of fun playing that character.
I was asked to show the ghost chair again.
So
do we need to put something in it? Would that make people feel better?
The ghost.
And I beat it. and then I played Cuphead, and it beat me, and I played.
Played Cuphead till I'm cupped did.
You did pretty good in Cuphead. I mean,
You did pretty good. You did
Get outta
pretty
here.
good.
I thought that game was like I was on the map. That's the map, and I was like, "What?" I got like
My head in my head.
I was like, "How many?
the map. That's the map.
How many?
That's the map.
How many people do I actually have to fight? Like, how many people owe this devil their souls?"
There's a lot
Like,
of
it
bosses.
isn't going to take very long, and yeah, it's just one of those games that's of the video game variety that really gets in my head because all of them do.
You psych yourself out. Yeah, you do it with a lot of games. That's very true. But I agree with what Kirby said. I think you did fine. You went through the same process everybody does. I told you there was a journalist who couldn't get past the tutorial.
Yeah.
A game journalist. Should say that.
But yeah, so I mean, I think I did great fighting the exact same fight for like an hour and not getting anywhere.
Tomfoolery, is that true? Tell me if that's
Sorry to
true.
be so negative.
I think you did just fine. I would like to see you. Look, you saw me play. I had a hell of a time beating one of the
Can we
bosses.
play
So
Chariot tonight? I'm putting this on the podcast. I'm
maybe
putting you on the spot, boy.
I want to play Yoshi, but I have no problem playing Chariot at some point.
We gotta finish that.
Gotta hook those lights up. Can we do the
Yeah,
nano leafs to Chariot too?
I doubt it.
we gotta finish that game. We've started it twice and never finished it.
Is that all you played?
Yes. Yeah.
Rain?
Nothing. What about you, Romy?
Oh, thanks.
She wants to get out of here.
I
There's
played.
talk of ice cream.
Oh yeah.
I played Cuphead, and I got to the one boss that I knew that would give me trouble. It's the boss that gives me more trouble than any other boss in the game, and it's the bee hotel boss.
The Bee Queen.
What's that?
You pulled
The
a
Queen
Dinky
Bee.
Hill. You played that level for like an hour straight. This is the second time you've had to fight this character because you played it on
Xbox One.
And you were fighting your heart out, putting all into it, and you realized after like an hour, there's a tool in my
I don't know why. Like
Whatever.
I was, yeah.
at my
So
disposal that can help make
the
this
third
easier.
phase of this bee boss, the bee turns into like a bomber plane that's at the bottom of the screen.
Spoiler alert.
And the whole level is constantly climbing upwards, so you have to jump from platform to
I
platform.
think it was like a B-52.
And B-52, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, you think it was like a stupid visual pun?
And you have to shoot the plane. And for some reason, I never thought to stand on one of the platforms as they were scrolling by and lock my feet and shoot angled downwards. I was going down by the side of it and shooting, which gives you very, very little room to move, and also puts you right next to the boss, and you have to constantly jump away. So after, like, I don't know why I didn't realize that, and it happened to me the first time I played that boss too. I remembered that happened. It's just because you're jumping from platform to platform, and I guess you're not thinking. I wasn't thinking that I can stand and lock my feet because you're constantly worried about moving. But once I did that, then I was able to beat the boss. But yes, it took me a long time to get past that one. Both times that I've played it, and I don't remember any. There's one other boss I had a lot of trouble with, but it's later on. So we'll see how it goes when I get to that one later. But I do really enjoy that game, and I like the challenge. So I played that. Oh boy, I don't know what I played this week. I gotta look at the app. I really don't remember.
Does that app show you?
Oh.
What'd you play with your mom? Or didn't you?
She played something. What'd you say? Oh yeah, I can't talk about it.
Boo.
Well, I guess I can say I'm playing it, but I can't tell you about it. I asked, can I talk about this? And they were like, no, you can't talk about it. I said, can I do footage of it? They said, no, you can't do footage of it. And I was like, well, but I really want to talk about it because I'm enjoying it. And they're like, nope, can't do it.
No.
I am playing. No, I'll say what I'm playing. I just can't tell you anymore. I'm playing Extermination Force on Switch, which is the new game from, I don't even know how I'm supposed to say his name, Bertel Holberg, the man who made Gunman Clive.
Oh.
I'm playing that,
What's it called?
I almost started talking about it.
I think he's Dutch.
Extermination Force, and his name is Bertel Hogberg. I don't know. It's got the double.
Dexenborg.
How do you do the double dots over an O? How do you say that? And what is that called? Umlaut?
That's an umlaut. Yeah.
I don't know how you're supposed to say that, but that's in his name. I know the first name is Bertel. Bertil. Bertil.
It's sort of like
Bertel.
Fergal.
So yes, I've been playing that. I can't talk about it, but I will tell you that I'm very eager to talk about it. I also played for a video series. I've been wanting to do a video series where I take a look at games that I feel never got the attention they deserved. So I'm trying to raise awareness for them. And I saw one person who watched the video say they didn't know about the game. They really liked what they saw, and they were going to buy it. So mission accomplished in my eyes. I played Rain World, which I played on PS4, but it is available on Switch. And I wanted to show you guys Rain World because A, I really like Rain World. B, I feel like nobody played Rain World. C, I saw two people talking about Rain World this week, and they were both saying, why didn't this game get more attention? And why was it so heavily panned by critics? And I agree with both of those statements. When the reviews originally came out, I was super excited for this game. I read the reviews and I was like, oh, it sounds like it's really bad. But I never use reviews as a way to stop me from personally trying something out. I was really excited about this game. I'm still going to play it. So I played it and I was like, I don't get hardly any of the complaints that critics had about this game. It seems like it's one of those games that really clicks for people, or you end up really not liking it. So I played Rain World. I love Rain World so much. It's got a little bit of out of this world, or another world, as you're supposed to call it now. It's got a survivalist element to it. It's platforming. It's one of those games that doesn't spoon feed you as far as where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do, which I love. You have to figure out the mechanics as you go along, so you need patience. I really appreciate that. It's unique looking. I love the animation. It's very atmospheric. I can't say enough good things about that game. So if you are curious as to seeing what Rain World actually plays like, check out the video that I did. Again, it's on Switch. It's published by Adult Swim Games. They didn't make it, but they published it. And it seems like the game never got the right amount of love on any platform it came out on, which really makes me sad. So check that out. I am going to do more videos for games that I feel are buried treasures on the Switch eShop, but that was my #1 pick right off the bat because I love it. It got crapped on, and I don't know why.
I love it.
So, what was the game where you're the Shadow and you're going up the tower?
Tower of Shadow.
Tower of Shadow.
Yeah, that Shadow in the title, though, right?
I thought so. Shadow
on the tower. From like Hudson or Konami or
it was
something,
like
right?
one of Hudson's last games, right?
It had Tower in the title, didn't it? Yeah, go look.
I don't know about Tower. I do remember Shadow. Or something.
I
thought it was Tower of Shadow for real. I thought that wasn't me joking.
Wrong.
I want to go look. It's on my shelf, but somebody's gonna have to do something.
I got it. Relax.
Okay. Why? You're talking about because they're...
No, just something about that reminded me of it.
Of Rain World?
Just looking at the trailers.
Really?
No, not at all. It just made me think.
There's some kind of connection.
Isn't it called Lost in Shadow?
Lost in Shadow. That's it. Yes.
Am I weird for thinking that was a fun?
I would never make the connection. Oh no, I like that game too, but I would never make the connection between that and
7.5 out of 68% Metacritic.
I'd never make the connection between that and
only because in
Rain
the
World.
trailer there's one clip. That's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with it really, but it's all stencils, but there was flashes of light, so you saw shadows. So when I saw shadows, I was like, "What's that shadow game?"
Well, now you know.
And you're talking about how you liked a game, and I was thinking I liked Lost in Shadow. I liked the concept more probably than the game, but I really wish people try that.
Oh, okay. So Romy, the Japanese title is actually Tower of Shadows.
Oh, that's why it's
That's
stuck out.
yeah. Get out of here.
I do cover games before they come to America. That's very true. Just like we had a game on the podcast for the music
you talk
section
yourself out of
where I didn't
situation.
know the English name and I knew the Japanese name. Yes, you're right, Drew. Battle Chef Brigade is another game that definitely deserves to be in that list. Very highly, very wonderful game, and that was actually praised by critics, but it seems like people just didn't play it. All right, let's do some questions. Your questions can be sent to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo, they can be about video games in general, or anything you want. Today's question comes from Blood Ocean 7. And he says, I understand why you don't say, and you can't teach that anymore, but can you say it anyways after telling us the height of each Pokemon? It's the greatest phrase I've ever heard. Well, it's
It was clear.
yeah, it's a dicey subject. Hello, No Filter. It's yes, Pool Panic, and that's a game by Adult Swim Games too. No Filter, another overlooked title. So for those who don't know the story, we used to say, and you can't teach that, because it was something a wrestler said, and then that wrestler was accused of rape. So we were like, well, we don't want to say that anymore. But all charges were dropped on him after that. So now I don't know what to think. So I don't know if we'll start saying it again or not. I will tell you, removed from all the rape allegations and stuff, I did love that phrase, and I do miss that aspect of it. But I don't know. It's yes, Kim. Kim is a fan. I don't know. I'm just being honest. God damn it, there's something not related to what I'm saying. It was a soundboard thing that I wanted to add to the soundboard. I never said it out loud. It was based on something we were just talking about.
Oh, what we were, and you were like, it'll never get used.
Yes, it was
But
related to that.
it should go in there.
But it wasn't that, which I don't remember either. It's something else. But I should have said it out loud because now it's gone. It was something we could have actually used on the podcast. It was, hello, I'm Squidward. Oh, that's what it is. Hi, how are you? We could add that to the podcast soundboard.
How are you?
We'll do one more question. This is from Bygones or Bygones. Hello, I'm Squidward. Bygone says,
Sorry, he's eating something he shouldn't be.
He's eating the ghost chair.
what is it? Just fuzz.
One of your beard hairs.
Man.
Bygone says, good
You ate-
afternoon, pod
Cat ate your
crew.
beard.
Familiar with the card game Uno? Yes, we all are. Hopefully. If not, please open the attached emergency question. No, we're good. If so, continue on. Imagine you are playing a two-player game of Uno with your friend and you play a reverse card. What do you say happens? Does it become your opponent's turn or your turn? Please discuss. This is a reader sending us a question to ask us to discuss, and you're not listening.
She or she.
It's about Uno. Imagine you are playing a two-player game of Uno with a friend, and you play a reverse card. What do you say happens? Does it become your opponent's turn or your turn? Please discuss.
It becomes the opponent's turn.
But there's only two of you, he's saying.
Right. And so, I mean, the reverse card is just pointless because if you're the
That's
next
the
person to go,
discussion.
and then I play reverse, and so you're not the next person, but the person before me is the next. Well, you're the next person.
So you're saying it just is the other player. It's not you, is all it is.
I don't think so.
I would agree with that. I would say it just becomes the card that means not me anymore.
Yeah.
So that is our decision, I think. Brain, you would agree?
Yeah.
Kirby, yes?
Yeah, sure.
Well, that was decided officially for our podcast. But he says the official rules state that it acts like a skip card, returning play to you. But my family never played that way.
So this is a trick question.
Maybe never knew of that
Set us
rule
up.
and treated it as you would in the normal game, reversing play to the opposite direction, clockwise to counterclockwise or vice versa. And either way you go, and a two-player game makes it your opponent's turn, effectively makes it act like one of the numbered cards. Seems like the only logical thing for it to do. Thanks for the pod and the burps. You're welcome.
So in reality, this person actually read the rules where no one else has ever read the rules.
Yeah, right. But
And
still
it's
doesn't play
supposed to
that
be
way.
my way. It's supposed to be my turn if I drop that card.
Yes, when there's only 2 players. But then why would you play it? Like, you have to, I guess, because the point is you want to get rid of your cards. Yeah, I would agree with you. I would say that most people do. Like, it just goes to the other player rather than reversing back on yourself in that instance. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe lots of people read the rules. I will have to ask my aunt because she's a huge Uno fan.
She is.
But has she ever read the rules?
She was a teacher.
Every night.
Maybe. Every night before she goes
You
to
should
bed.
have your aunt read the
Most people
book.
have a Bible in their
You should
drawer
have your
next to the bed. She has the Uno instruction
You
cards.
should have your aunt
Does she know how to play DOS?
read.
Nobody knows. No one A knows how to play DOS. No one B has ever played DOS ever in the history of the world. In all time, they've
The
never
history
played
of all time.
DOS. And anyone that says they played it is A, lying, or B, playing it wrong. Because you hit a point with the instructions where you just give up. So, man, that makes me so mad because I was so excited. How do you go from Uno, which has such a simple set of rules, to DOS, which has the most mind-boggling set of rules I've ever read in my entire life?
More than the first.
We figured out how to play Dungeons and Dragons and that other board game, and we can't figure out a card game. How is that possible? Ugh, whatever. Let's do some music.
Whoa. Okay.
You know you can't talk about DOS. It gets me fired up.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have brought it up.
I could talk a whole podcast about DOS. Yes, DOS is the official sequel to Uno. It just came out last year. Go ahead. Look it up.
I got music.
But try and play it. It won't happen.
You want to hear it?
Oh, my God.
Oh, nice sound.
Is that what I sound like?
This first song comes from Autumnal Blake.
Please don't be loud.
Oh, the Friends TV show game.
Yeah. Sorry.
Is this a Wii game?
I really thought you were going to say weeaboo.
This is Wii.
This
Is it a WarioWare?
No, it's
Is
not
it Rhythm
WarioWare.
Heaven?
It's a DS, and yes.
There we go.
Rhythm Heaven.
Same thing.
All right, that was from Autumnal Blake, and it was Rhythm Heaven.
Is this a weeaboo game?
This one was from Wired.
Just keep transposing. Yokai Watch?
No.
What system?
Jeez. Jumping right in there.
I think it's a portable.
Wii.
No. Elements.
No.
Why do you say it like that? The game where you eat everything. Munchables.
No idea.
It's not first party, is it?
I don't think so.
I don't know what this is. It's got some kind of playfully spooky nature to it. I don't know. We don't know.
No idea about the game. It is Fluidity.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Oh,
Did you
I played that a long. That was the Wii, huh?
They put that out on 3DS too,
I
didn't
don't
they?
think I played all of it.
Wow. Forgot all about that one.
All right, so this next song.
Cumulative. We didn't get 0 right. We got 1 right.
Oh, P.S. Wired sent a little note along with their music and said, with this submission, I begin my 14th gasp. They said that. Year of listening to the GoNintendo podcasts. This is from Fluidity on the Wii, WiiWare. Thank you to the whole crew. Wishing you nothing but happiness, good health, and success for the next 14 years and beyond.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is our 14th year of doing the podcast. I don't know how many years it's been.
Interesting.
Send your question or your podcast music to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. Is that right? gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com? That sounds right.
Where?
gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
All right. So next little ditty comes to us from, let me see. We're going to say Mikey3319. Let me just get the volume situated here. I think we're good.
Autumnal Blake, is that true?
No.
64?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. Paper Mario.
No.
Is it licensed?
No.
Quest 64.
No.
Glover.
No.
It's got decent music.
Pokemon.
It's not Pokemon.
Bomberman.
Not Bomberman.
It's not first party. It doesn't have a first party feel.
It is not.
What is
Hercules. Xena.
She said it's not licensed.
Oh.
It's not one of those Castlevania systems.
that Sphinx game?
That's GameCube.
Yeah, that wasn't on 60.
We don't know.
Oh dear. Sorry.
Oh god, we don't know that either.
It was Rayman 2, The Great Escape.
Oh, it had a Rayman vibe to it.
My
Damn
sister
it.
played that game. I don't
That was
know.
from
why isn't she
Mikey3319. This one comes from Glitter Bubble 3.
We had a few good weeks and now we're back to the bad ones.
Is this a Metroid Prime?
No.
So, yeah, this isn't 999.
No.
Where's this? Yeah,
64.
Star Fox.
Shadows of the Empire.
Castlevania?
No.
Or it really made me think Castlevania. It's not first part.
Face the Dark Ages.
Based. Never mind. I can't say that people are going to think I'm racist. I was saying just because it was funny to me. I wasn't going to say because people were going to think it's racist, but I don't mean it as racist. I just thought it was funny. I was going to say Mace the Dark Windu. There's a Mace Windu, but people are going to say like dark. He means racist. No, but it made me laugh.
It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the
It makes
gamble.
me laugh a lot. Oh man, I don't know what this is at all. Nightmare Creatures.
No.
Quest 64.
Nope.
Win back. What? I thought you said Gourgeist.
It's the turn back.
We don't know. Go ahead again.
Hybrid Heaven.
I would have never thought of that.
On
Yeah,
64 from Glitter
totally
Bubble
played that.
3. This one is from Andy the Zombie.
Was it a driving game?
So stupid. Better than Mace the Dark Windu. Mega Man, it's gotta be. Okay. Let me think. All right, here's the thing. All right. It's not 1, 2, 3, or 4.
No?
It's like 5 or 6.
6.
One of those. Oh, I'm just gonna narrow it down.
50-50 shot. It was Mega Man 6, and it came to us from the esteemed
Who is
Andy
it?
the Zombie. I don't know.
Who is it?
I don't know. Figure it out. Sort it out. This one comes from Blood Ocean 07.
Goldeneye.
Yeah.
This is in the snow or something, I think. I don't know.
In the rain or in the snow.
Man, so many memories.
Yeah.
All right, that was GoldenEye 007, and it came to us from Blood Ocean 07. This one comes from Jet Jaguar.
Focus all attacks. Looking at me like I should know it. May I have a system, please?
Switch. If Lou was here, I'm pretty sure we would have gotten that.
Civ. What else did he play?
The same.
Elder Scrolls or something.
If Lou was here,
I'm pretty sure.
he would have done it.
Yeah.
Oh, Enter the Gungeon. Yes, Lou did play that a lot.
It was Enter the Gungeon from Jet Jaguar. This one
What
comes
was all-
from
all the attacks?
the Sacred Wolf.
Well, I know what series it's from, and I know what platform it's from. It's from the Wii, right?
Yeah.
I just need to figure out which one. Hold on, let me guess. I'm gonna guess wrong. I'm gonna guess wrong. Galaxy 2.
It is.
Hey! Super Mario Galaxy 2!
It is Galaxy 2.
Hi,
From the
Barbus.
Sacred Wolf.
Hold on. Barbus says, my first live GoNintendo podcast, only getting here at the end, though. All that matters is that you made it in. Thanks for joining us.
Here's a nice cat.
Oh, they can see.
Who is that? Barbus?
Barbus.
Barbus.
You're a nice little
Welcome.
boy.
Welcome, Barbus.
This one comes from Steel Diver.
Still Barbus.
I don't even know the system. I can't tell if it's bad quality because it's bad quality or the system.
Switch.
Damn it. Oh, we only have 1,800 games to pick from.
That was it that,
Nekopara, no. It's too action oriented. You could also guess the Senran Kagura.
oh, thank you.
I got nothing. It's gonna be something with a real long weird name.
It is Fate,
Extella, Link.
the Umbral Star.
Ah,
That is
I
pretty
post about that like all the time, but I don't know the music.
And the last song we have today comes from Wes FX.
Focus all attacks. Is that it?
I know it obviously, but I'm having trouble placing it.
Because you don't really play this game.
It's Dr. Mario?
It is.
Yeah, that drum gets me. Not a weird drum. I don't really play that. I don't like Dr. Mario. I'm terrible at it too.
Did you see the meme or whatever of Dr. Mario? And it's like, one year he's a plumber, and the very next year he's all of a sudden a doctor. When did he go to school? When did he get his degree?
Listen, they give out degrees differently in the Mushroom Kingdom. You basically say, I want to be this, and they give you the sheet of paper.
That's
Cumulative says we got 6 out of 10. I'll take it. Started off bad, but I'll take 6 out of 10. All right, my friends. Stick around for the after show for I don't know what we'll be talking about. You tell us what we'll be talking about in the after show. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stick around for the after show where we play Boom Tetris for Jeff 50 times in a row.
Boom Tetris for Jeff.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Boom Tetris for Jeff.
I made sure I got that in there.
Thank you.
Autumnal says, I beat Life is Strange.
Hey.
Yay! I would say talk about the ending. See, there are certain games
Don't be fools.
where I feel no matter how long the game has been out for, the ending is still spoiler. And I'd say that whole game, since it's really story related, you shouldn't really talk about the ending. But I want to, well, how about you tell me what you thought of the game Life is Strange? Elfman says, yes, Elfman, I can get that for you. Because I'm in charge now. I'm the captain now. Elfman says, can I get a Natalia the Sluice? You can as soon as I find out where it is.
Natalia, the sluice.
There you go. We need to talk about Resident Evil more so we can start using that. Autumnal says, I expected Life is Strange would make me more sad. Scale of 1 to 10. How sad did it make you, Autumnal? That's what I want to know. Because it did make me very sad. Nikki Hill, you didn't finish it?
The second story? No.
No. The original Life is Strange. You did finish it?
Did.
Did it make you sad?
I don't think so. I think by the end I was just like, I made my choice, and then I told you what my choice was, and you were like, really?
I'm surprised. Autumnal says he'd give it a 5 out of 10 on the sadness scale.
My the person that I was going to for a dog walker.
Kim, that's an important question.
It's funny. The dog walker's name is Kim.
Wow.
She said she was playing and she was live streaming it, like Twitch on Twitch or something.
Yeah.
And she got to a story point where she opened the door. And she,
I got you.
And she was just like, it like broke down on the stream.
The front door? I'm guessing you're talking. Yeah.
She went to visit somebody.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Yeah, that game is something special, man. I really like that whole experience. Really makes you think about the choices you made and how you treat people.
I'm thinking now, that's freaking crazy. It's like a weird nightmare sequence, isn't it?
What, the whole game?
Going like walking from platform to platform at the end, and it's like.
Oh yes, it is spooky. PC from the podcast when she was playing that part, she was like, "This is freaking me out a little bit."
You know what freaked me out?
This is not a ShamWow. It's just a generic cloth.
We owned some knockoff ShamWows though for a while.
Whamshows.
Days option Whamshows.
As silly as it is, I remember getting chills playing Max Payne, and during like the flashback like sequence where it's like everything's pitch black and you're trying to follow the sounds of a crying baby, and like you don't know where you're walking or whatever.
Yeah.
I just remember that sound giving me chills and me just kind of.
There's a really scary element in a game I can't remember the name of.
Shadow game or something.
It's on PS4 and Xbox One. It's made by the guy who did Resident Evil, but it's not Resident Evil.
Evil Within.
Evil Within 2, where like the screen, something happens where the game goes like dark, black, blue, and you're sneaking around and this thing is chasing you, but you can't see it. You can only tell where it is by sound. And the sound design was just so good. I was like, oh, this is really hard to play. This is very creepy. It was really tough. I was like very scared is not the right word, because I don't usually get scared, but I was very uneasy, very on edge. It was very well done.
What
I
was
liked those moments.
That game that you played on the PC that you like, I remember you playing
Slender?
at your parents' house.
Not
It was
Slender.
like a military game, but there was like Stalker or something. And I remember when you were playing, you were like, "It's the most intelligent AI. Like they track you and find where you
It
are."
might have been Stalker, yeah. Stalker was a big deal, yeah. Stalker
Yeah.
was a very big deal when it came out.
There was also another game I remember you showing us something. Not scary. I remember when you showed us Fear, and I walked away.
A lot of Fear never scared me at all one bit, but a lot of people were very frightened of Fear.
Well,
Yeah,
you're also very practical about things, and you're like, it's a game, nothing's gonna hurt me. Whereas I'm so susceptible. Like I couldn't step off a freaking board that was 1.5 inches off the floor. And but yeah, no, the other game was I remember you were showing us, and you were like, it's got photorealistic scenery or something, and I think it was supposed to be a military game or something, but all the backgrounds
Stalker?
were real photos.
I don't remember.
I don't think it was Stalker. It was another game. Probably never came out. It was all probably a hoax.
Well, there's your after show, guys. We're done.
I'll give him something more. It was just me mouthing off about garbage.
Hey, what happened?
All right, we'll see you next
Wait,
week.
you were supposed to play that. Boom, Tetris for Jeff 50 times. Get to it.
Boom, Tetris for Jeff.
Goodbye, everybody.